We have to address the Greeks, and we have to do it thoroughly, because this is the tension that came up in my Charusa sessions. Was no, we can't make idols out of beauty. That's what the Greeks do. We can't turn beauty into the destination. We can't seek beauty for beauty's sake, and that's not at all what I'm interested in doing. But we have to address the tension in Jewish philosophy with the Greeks, and I'd like to do that with you. I don't know if you have in front of you.
You sent me some source. I have it on my phone here.
Can you read Genesis 9:22?
That would sound really smart if I just had it off the top of my head. Genesis, Vayikach Shem Yefet. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Vayikach Shem Yefet et hasimla, and Shem and Yefet took a cloth. Vayasimu al Shechem Shenehem. They placed it against both of their backs. Vayelchu achoronit, and they walked backwards. Vayechasu et ervat avihem, and they covered the nakedness of their father. Upnehem achoronit, and their faces were turned the other way. Pnehem are faces, achoronit, they looked away. Ve'ervat avim lo ra'u, and the nakedness of their father they did not see.
Right. Awesome. A lot to address here.
Yeah.
So we learn. I'm gonna thank my friends, my dear friend, and someone who I went to yeshiva with, who I live with in the community now, Aviv, for this for part of this learning. Mm-hmm. We learn in the Midrash that in reward for Yafet's covering of the body, that Yafet himself.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dan. Maybe just give a little context, because not everyone listening to this knows that, like, what's going on here. We was talking about Noach. You want to just explain? This is after the flood, and go for it.
Okay, so this is after the flood. Noach falls over drunk, and his sons. This is good. You're right, Rabbi. I should have properly introduced this. His son.
No, it doesn't matter. It's cool.
His sons, Shem and Yefet, they both cover his body, and they cover his body because he's fallen over drunk, naked,
right?
And they both walk away backwards. So they're not disrespecting.
Yeah. Now, I think it's important also just to point out, the Torah tells us that after the flood was over and Noach is saved with his whole family, that he builds a vineyard, and it's one of the first things he does. Our sages aren't too complimentary of him. Why is he building a vineyard? On the other hand, just for a little context, he has seen the devastation of the world. God has literally flooded earth,
right,
and destroyed all of humanity with the exception of Noach and his family. You can imagine what he's going through if he has survivor guilt. I'm not trying to make excuses for him getting drunk. Clearly, he did something inappropriate, and his sons are dealing with it as best as they can.
Well, it's understandable human behavior.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why, Noach is described in the Torah as a tzaddik. What kind of tzaddik, what kind of righteous person, first thing he does, surviving, he builds a vineyard and starts drinking and gets drunk and is walking around in this compromised state. But I think it's important to point out that, like, he was a survivor. I can't even imagine what he'd been through with his family, preserving the lives not only of his family but all these animals and this ark. It was like a crazy story, that he's been through. But anyway, that's the context.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So the Midrash, which is a series of how would you describe the Midrash? It's a series of.
It's a rabbinic tradition to fill in some of the blanks and explain a deeper message in the biblical text.
So the Midrash teaches that in reward for Yafet's covering of the body, Yafet himself merits a proper burial. In reward for Shem's covering of the body, his offspring being the Jewish people, merit the mitzvah of tzitzit. Awesome. So the the Maharal of Prague, one of our, can you give a brief rundown of the Maharal of Prague,
Well,
Rabbi?
he lived in Prague in Czechoslovakia and was a great Jewish philosopher, specifically very much steeped in some of the Kabbalistic texts, but became, I would say, one of the great Jewish thinkers studied in throughout the classical yeshiva world to this day. You can still go see his synagogue in Prague. It's very beautiful, the synagogue of the Maharal, the Altanoi Shul. Anyway.
So the Maharal in the Gur Arya, which is a commentary on our most famous commentator Rashi, he says that he asks the question: if both Shem and Yafet do the same action, they both cover the body, why are they getting different rewards?
Mm-hmm.
So Yafet, now we're going to break down the names a bit. Yafet means beauty. And Shem means something else. Shem means the name. Shem means there. It means direction. It means purpose. These are two different concepts, Yafet and Shem. So Yafet goes on to become the progenitor of European peoples, of the Greeks. Shem goes on to be the progenitor of Semitic peoples, of Jews. So there is a difference in these two concepts in how they both engage with reality. Yefet cares about the external image, the worship of form and physical beauty for its own purpose, beauty for beauty's sake. This is a specific, this is a part of the essence of Greek philosophy on beauty, beauty for beauty's sake, beauty as destination, both in the physical and in the spiritual. So when he sees Noach, his father, uncovered, it's not honorable for the form. It's not honorable for the body, it looks ugly now because it's fallen over slovenly, and so Yafet wants to show respect for the body. Shem, different approach, completely different approach. Shem looks at the world. Why does all this physicality? Why do physical things exist? Everything was created for purpose. Nothing extra in the world. Everything was created with meaning to elevate and to further the reason for creation. There's a divine plan. There's a God who created everything in the world as necessary in order to fulfill that divine plan. A body is here to serve Hashem, to reveal the glory of a soul, of something that is completely spiritual. That's in essence these two things that are going on. So if it's worship of the body for the body's sake, okay, then the body gets the kavod, the body gets the respect, and that's why, at least according to the Maharal, that's why Yafet receives the merit of a proper burial, of proper respect for the body.
For the body, right.
For the body in and of itself.
Right, because it's seen as like a disrespectful thing for the body to just be lying around, to be discarded casually.
Right. Shem, different situation. Shem, the offspring of Shem, gets the mitzvah of tzitzit, which are the fringes that we wear on the corners of our garments, sometimes covered, sometimes given techeles with the blue strand, which I believe you have on you as well.
I have them on me too, and we went together the first time to get your tzitzis with techeles. I remember.
That's this pair right here.
Yeah,
I clean it. So we get the mitzvah of tzitzit. And it's there to show you that the entire body is created for meaning. The Maharal says that the body is covered in tzitzit and that they are a metaphor for spiritual light. Physicality is infused with the light of spiritual meaning and purpose, which is the essence of tzitzit.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
To
That's
tie it all
Maharal.
together,
Yeah, literally.
to tie this all together, a few verses later in Genesis comes Genesis 9:27. May Hashem enlarge Yafes and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, of Shem. Let beauty dwell in Shem, in the name, in the purpose, in let beauty dwell in direction. So let beauty dwell in purpose. That's our Jewish concept of beauty. That's how these things come together. That's how they get bridged. And it's a really important point to emphasize that real beauty, that the Jewish conception of beauty comes from purpose, comes from living purposefully.
Hey, please like and subscribe so we can get these really important videos out to a larger audience. Thank you.